Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DLloyd, and we are here, you guys, finally, episode 1 of our New York Giants Madden 18 franchise mode series. So like I said before, we are going to be starting in the offseason. So all you got to do is make an online CFM and then go to live rosters and simply start from the Super Bowl, and we will be using the New York Giants, of course. So what we're going to be doing in this episode is the entire all season. So this is going to be an extremely long episode, especially for me, around 29 to 30 minutes for this episode. So just sit back and relax because it's going to be a long episode, but like I said, going through the entire offseason. So we'll be playing on all Madden difficulties, 10-minute quarter lengths. Everything else is relatively going to be the same. Didn't really change much else. And like I said, the exact same slider set that I've been using with the Buffalo Bills as well. We're going to be creating our coach, and we're going to be using the same playbook that the New York Giants currently have. So we'll use the Giants offensive playbook and the Giants defensive playbook, and we will just simply adjust to those playbooks. So we're going right into the season. We're going to start at the Super Bowl, and our Super Bowl winner is the New England Patriots. So they did beat the Philadelphia Eagles 31-28. So it is a little bit different because you can't start after the Super Bowl, have to start before the Super Bowl. But the New England Patriots, at least in our franchise, they're going to be the Super Bowl champions, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Now this is our roster starting out. Eli Manning, this is our guy, 37 years of age, only a 78 overall. But it looks like Eli Manning will probably more than likely be our guy next season. Unless some crazy guys in the draft, Eli Manning will be our guy. Orleans Darkwood is a running back who I do like. 26 years old, 90 speed, 87 trucking, could do a little bit of both things. I do like him, but his contract is expired. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we could bring him back unless he's asking for something crazy. Fullback don't really have one. Odell Beckham Jr., of course. We'll see what happens. 1 year left on his deal. He's going to want a ton of money, so we have to make sure we have cap space for him, or maybe even trade him. But I would prefer to keep Odell Beckham, of course. You don't want to give up a 97 overall receiver, but the rest of the receiving core is also pretty good. Even Evan Ingram, I like him a lot. I think he's a great young tight end, so we're not going to mess with the tight end positions. Eric Flowers, left tackle, young guy looking pretty good. Justin Pugh, I believe his name is, Pug. Whatever his name is, he's a decent left guard. Weston Richburg at center. I like him because he has quick development, but his contract is also up. DJ Fluker, his contract is also up. So a lot of our linemen's contracts is up. Right tackle, we need desperately 68 overall as our starting right tackle. We need to bring somebody in to fill in that gap. We have Jason Pierre-Paul. He is not going anywhere. Olivia Vernon, he's not going anywhere either. 87 overall at right end. Our defensive line, extremely good. Damon Harrison Sr., he's great. Then we also have Dalvin Tomlinson as our other defensive tackle. Like I said, I love our defensive line, but our linebacker core is pretty bad in my opinion. You have Devin Kennard there. You have B.J. Goodson. I know a lot of people like B.J. Goodson in real life, but I'm not a huge fan of B.J. Goodson. If I could try to trade him, that would definitely be a good thing. But we also have Keenan Robinson as well. 29 years old, only 73 overall. Like I said, linebacker core really not that great. Now taking a look at our cornerbacks, we have Janoris Jenkins. I like him a ton. 29 years old, 86 overall. We also have an older Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who is now 32 years of age, and then Eli Apple's 23, but he's only a 76 overall. So cornerbacks, we might want to add one or two during the offseason. Safety, we definitely need to add another free safety. Darian Thompson is not the guy, but Landon Collins, that is our defensive captain, our guy on the defensive side of the football. So we're straight when it comes to the strong safety position. Kicker, he's okay, 93 kick power, not really going to complain. Then we have an okay punter as well, and Brad Wing. And then we have all of our draft picks second in every single round. So I do like where we are from a draft standpoint. Now, quickly looking at the draft stories, there's a couple of guys here, and we have to really get up to speed quick because we don't have the entire regular season to scout these players. So they do have a cornerback in Sivahina Wade. We're going to just call him Civ Wade just because it's hard to pronounce that name. But he looks like a great player who is falling in the draft because he likes to party and have late nights. So we're definitely going to take notes, because if we could try to get a player like that late, depending on how good he is, that would definitely be good. Now, going on to re-signing our players, like I said, Orleans Darkwood is there, but he is looking for a 5-year deal. I'm not really trying to give him a 5-year deal. So we'll go ahead and let him test free agency. Hopefully we can bring him back under that, but we will see. As for our center, we have to bring back Weston Richburg. Like I said, our offensive line is terrible, so we need as much talent as possible. And the 80 overall, we simply cannot give that up, especially with quick development. So we're going to offer him what he wants. He wants 4 years, $18 million. We offer him 4 years, $18.8 million, and he decides that he wants to test free agency. So maybe we could have upped the offer a little bit more, but he will be a free agent. Hopefully we can sign him back this offseason. As for Justin Pugh, we definitely need to get another left guard. He's our best left guard currently, so we're going to do the same thing, offer him a contract. He wants 4 years, $22 million. I'm thinking in my head now how much we want to offer him, so we'll offer him the exact same thing. And he also says he wants to play for a new team next year. So he will be testing the free agency market. Defensive tackle, I think we're pretty good at this position, but we'll definitely go ahead and just offer Jay Bromley a deal, and he is also going to test free agency. So not really off to a great start. Haven't signed anybody at all. DJ Fluker, he is our starting right guard. Hopefully we could bring him back. His contract demands are way less than everybody else's so far. 3 years, $10 million, and he will sign for those 3 years and $10 million. So we finally bring back a player. As for everybody else, I don't think we're going to bring anybody else back. You see me taking a look right here. This is Ross Cockrell. We do need some cornerbacks. I'm sitting here thinking, do I want to offer him 3 years, $15 million? We take that down to 2 years, maybe $10 million, just to make sure we do have a nickel corner, but he's going to also test free agency. And then everybody else, we're going to just allow all of them to hit free agency without even offering them any type of contract. So that's where we're going to end the re-signing period. Like I said, hopefully we can hit big in free agency because we're going to have a ton of money to work with since we really did not sign a lot of these players. And that's the whole point. We're trying to rebuild this team essentially in a year, maybe 2 years at the most. We don't have a long time to make this team a Super Bowl contender. So we're now here in free agency. Orleans Darkwa, he is our guy. We have, you see, $46 million in cap space if we offer him this deal. We start with 51. That is our true cap space. But we're going to go ahead and offer Orleans Darkwa a higher pay rate, only 3 years. I don't want to sign him for 5 years. You know the running back position. Signing him for 5 years would mean he will be under contract until he is 31 years of age. So we offer him a deal. LeGarrette Blount, 1 year deal. Go ahead and offer him as well. Just in case we don't get Orleans Darkwa, we have a big power back on our roster. We'll go ahead and offer the left guard as well. We need a left guard there. But as backup, we're also going to offer Matt Slauson a deal because it looks like the Redskins are ready to spend a lot of money on their offensive line as well. Weston Richburg, I wanted him before he hit free agency. We're going to offer him another deal. This time we're offering him way more. He wants 4 years, $18 million. We give him 4 years, $23 million. So hopefully that could be a pretty big deal. Hopefully he can sign with us as well. John Sullivan, we're going to offer him a deal as well at that center position. 1 year, $3.5 million. So he's a lot cheaper, but we have to have that insurance policy. Hopefully he does sign with us. Now on to the defensive side. You know our linebacker core is awful, so we offer Paul Warlow a deal. But the big one that we want is Navarro Bowman. 30 years old, so he is up there in age. Does have that superstar development. Hopefully he doesn't regress quickly. Offer him 3 years, $17.5 million. He's looking for 3 years, $14 million, giving him $3 million more. But then we decide why not go ahead and raise this up because we want to bring in Navarro Bowman. So 3 years, $18 million is the final offer. And look at this. The Redskins, again, a lot of teams ahead of us. So we're probably not going to get Navarro Bowman. So now, plan 2. Mark Barron, I know he's originally a safety, and he has that 86 speed. So we're going to go ahead offer him a deal as well. So 3 years, $12 million, a lot less money than we offer Navarro Bowman, but that's definitely going to be a guy who we could use as our linebacker on our linebacker core. Keenan Robinson, we offer him a 1 year deal as well. Then looking at the cornerbacks, we decided to go ahead and try to bring back Prince Amukamara on a 1 year deal. And then for free safety, we definitely need one. So Bradley McDougald is going to be our guy there. And that is pretty much all of the offers. You see them all right here. LeGarrette Blount, Navarro Bowman, Orleans Darkwa, Wesley Richburg, Prince Amukamara, Bradley McDougald. Mark Barron is a big one. Hopefully we can sign some of these guys. So we're going to go ahead and advance to stage number 2 of free agency and see who we end up getting. So right away, you do see our contract has been rejected by Orleans Darkwa. So he will be a member of the Buffalo Bills. For us, we are able to sign Bradley McDougald, which is good. But Navarro Bowman, he rejected our offer, which we did expect. But we end up landing Mark Barron, who was our second option. Richburg, he decides to leave, so we are without a center still In the meantime, we're trying to find somebody else. We do sign Prince Amukamara, Keenan Robinson, Paul Warlow, and we also lose out that left guard. So we still have some holes to fix, but now on the scouting, looking at some of the pieces here and seeing what's available, really not no big-time quarterback early in the draft. So now we're looking on the defensive side of the football, more importantly, the linebacker core, who we do want to improve. So you see Benjamin Parsons there. He looked okay, but one linebacker who definitely stood out in my mind is this Jermichael Banner-Kane. Look how he killed the combine, you guys. Absolutely demolished that combine. 31 reps on the bench, B+ tackling, B+ block shedding, and a B pursuit. This guy looks like a stud to me. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to add him to our draft board. Looking at another middle linebacker, this is CJ Kirby. Didn't kill the combine as much, but his skills look okay, but we're not going to add him to our draft board right now. Looking at cornerbacks, you have Pierce Genty. He looks okay as well. Ran a 4.45 40. But I'm not going to add him to our draft board right now. I think we are okay at the cornerback position, especially in round 1. We have the 2nd overall pick, so the guy has to be a stud. But this left outside linebacker, Henry Garrett, he looks really, really good to us as well. Combine just did really great. 33 on the bench. You definitely like that. The 20 cone with acceleration and the 3 cone with the agility, he killed those. So we're going to add him to the draft board. Looking at left guard, we need one. Will Odom, he looks decent. B's in every one of his categories, so we're going to add him to our draft board. Like I said, quarterbacks really wasn't anybody that impressed us early on. Scott Evans was a top guy, but I don't think he's really worth a first-round pick, especially as early as we have it as pick number 2. A.J. Hyde, he looks okay as well, but like I said, really none of these quarterbacks are really truly impressing me. But as we go ahead and we start sliding down this list, Garrett Hulsey is a guy that definitely stood out in my mind. So you're going to see me make my way down towards him, and you see he's projected as a 5th-round player, and that is definitely going to be huge because if we could get a quarterback late, allow him to sit behind Eli Manning, I think that'll definitely help us out. So you see him right there. He's a mobile quarterback, ran a 4.7, so I'm projecting a low 80 speed. This guy looks pretty good. The A- throwing power, the B+ short accuracy. He looks accurate, looks like he can run. That's definitely a guy we like. Morgan Brazell, he's a big running back, 6'2", 226. He had 29 on the bench, so we're going to add him. I don't think we really need him, but we're going to add him to our draft board just in case he does fall. Kobe Harmon ran a 4.3 140, so a speedster guy, but really doesn't look that good at anything else. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to skip him. Then we look at Corey Bellamy as well at the running back position. Ran a 4.4, but really didn't have a lot of skills. So we leave him off of our draft board as well. So now we're looking at left tackles. And one guy who did stand up to me is this Eric Langham guy. He looks decent, that B+ impact blocking, so we do add him to our draft board. But then one guy who I really do like is this Connor Fowler guy. We add him to the to our draft board right away. This guy looks like he could do everything, killed the combine, but the B+ run blocking, the B impact blocking, out that right tackle. I prefer my right tackle to be able to run block, so I do like him. But we also like this Duncan Nelson guy who's projected to go in round 2, so we add him to our draft board. Now, going back to free agency, looking at where everything stands with the other players, it's just 3 more offers that we currently have out. LeGarrette Blount, he is one of them. No other offers have been offered to LeGarrette Blount. So me being a little bit cheap, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take about $1 million off the asking price for LeGarrette Blount. So he was at about $6.4 million. We're going to bring that one down a whole lot, and we're going to end up offering him a $5.4 million deal for just 1 season. Has no other offers, he might have to take it. And then Adrian Peterson, he also has no other offers, so maybe we could lowball him as well. He wants $4 million for 1 year. There is no way I am paying Adrian Peterson $4 million for 1 season. So we're going to go ahead and lower that salary a bunch. The signing bonus, we are definitely going to lower, just in case we decide to release him at some point during the season. We don't want that big time cap, so we're going to go ahead, release him there. 1 year, $2.4 million. That is the offer for Adrian Peterson. Now, looking at the draft stories again, the quarterback George Hartson, he did not throw until the pro day, and he really didn't look that good during the pro day. So nobody really impressed me there. The left tackle who we just added to our draft board, Eric Langham, he looked like his stock is going to fall after a lackluster IQ test. That might help me out a lot. And then the Civ Wade guy we talked about earlier, his draft is already down. But those guys we are definitely looking at. This is our roster right now. You see LeGarrette Blount there. You see Adrian Peterson there. Our offensive line looks okay. definitely still need that right tackle position, and that is a position of need, especially when we go into the draft. And looking at our defense, like I said, really has not changed. Defensive line extremely good. Our secondary a little bit better, but that linebacker core is extremely suspect, even with the addition of Mark Barron. So we definitely do want to address that in the draft if possible, but we definitely do need to draft a right tackle. So we advance the week again, looking at more draft stories, see what is going on. And apparently Tate Gilkey, a defensive tackle, blew everybody away with the 40-yard dash. We are just not looking at defensive tackles at all, but he did rise up a little bit on the draft boards. And then we have Brandon Jenkins, the top receiver. We just don't need a receiver. He looked good at their pro day. Safety, Anton Ross, didn't really impress too much, so maybe he might drop a little bit, but that is a name we are going to add to our list as well. And that is pretty much all of the news. So Civ Wade, like I said earlier, we've seen him. He's a talented guy. His stock is falling because he parties late, but we're going to add him to our list because he looks pretty good when I looked at him. And this is our draft board essentially right now. We are going to move up Civ Wade. He is projected to be a third-round pick. And I think if we could get the opportunity to get him, sometimes you might have to take a little bit of risk with the talent that they show. So that is one guy who is a risk for us, but I do think is a risk that we are kind of willing to take. So we add him to our draft board and move him up a little bit. Looking at everybody else, Eric Langham, he dropped because of his IQ test, but he looks solid to me, and he's projected to be a third rounder now, so we're going to keep him on the draft board. So looking at the free agency recap and where everybody signed, these are our signings that we made this free agency period, and I think we did okay. LeGarrette Blount, he signed that one-year deal for $5 million, so I think that was great. Prince Amukamara, he is back, just on the one-year deal, but he is back. Bradley McDougald, I think we did good bringing him at free safety. Definitely needed one. Adrian Peterson, he could be the change-up from LeGarrette Blount. We do have an older running back core, but it should be decent. Mark Barron, I liked him. I think he was one of our big-time playmakers potentially at that linebacker position. Paul Warlow, we just needed to fill that position, and Keenan Robinson, another guy who we needed to just fill our positions. Allen Robinson was the top free agent. He stayed with Jacksonville, but you see Spencer Ware, he's now going to the Dallas Cowboys, so we'll play him twice a year. I don't expect to see him too much with Zeke. Navarro Bowman, he signs with the Washington Redskins, so we'll see him twice a year. And then Marquise Lee also signs with the Washington Redskins, so we'll play them twice this year as well. Everybody else, really nothing really surprising like that. Darkwa, like I said earlier, he ended up signing with the Buffalo Bills. But now it is time for the draft, you guys. I know a lot of you guys like this part, my favorite part of the offseason, and let's see what happens. So the first pick is the Cleveland Browns, but with no quarterbacks projected to go that high, they end up going with a receiver in Jenkins. So I think that's a good pick for them. He looked really good. We just didn't need a wide receiver. But at pick number 2, we really don't have anybody who we really want to draft this high. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to see what type of offers we have to essentially move down. And the Denver Broncos, they are offering the 5th round pick, next year's 1st round pick, and this year's 40th pick in round number 2. I think that is the best deal because the Chicago Bears, they have the 8th pick, but I don't think I want to drop that low because I do want one of these linebackers. So we're going to go ahead and accept the offer from the Denver Broncos. So we will drop from 2 to 5, but we pick up next year's 1, and we pick up a 2nd round pick this year. I think that's a great move for us, so we're definitely going to do that. And with that pick, the Denver Broncos are now on the clock, and they go ahead and they take that defensive tackle that ran that amazing 40-yard dash. So that's where they go with this pick. Now the Indianapolis Colts, they really don't have a huge need right there, so maybe we could jump back in. So we offer them B.J. Goodson, a 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick next year, and they actually do accept it, and that is definitely going to be good for us because now we could get the guy who we really do want. I think he could have potentially fell to 5, but now we ensure that we get our guy, and that guy is Jermichael Banner-Kane. This guy looks incredible to me. We're going to take the chance on him, and we're going to draft him here with the 3rd overall draft pick. And when we draft him, he is an 80 overall with superstar development. This guy looks amazing. 88 speed, 88 tackling, 86 block shedding, and an 84 hit power. This guy looks really great to me. He will definitely man the middle of our defense. Now we're here, pick number 4. See who the Cleveland Browns go with. And they go with Parsons, a left outside linebacker who we did see. We just didn't add to our draft board. But now we're here for pick 5. And now this is where the decisions get tough. because Henry Garrett is a guy I like, but now we also know we need a right tackle. So it's between Connor Fowler or Henry Garrett, but we also have Duncan is the guy who we get drafted in the second round at that right tackle position, and I really was conflicted at this point as to who we're going to draft, but we decided to go with the left outside linebacker, Henry Garrett, playmaker, third in overall true talent, 81 overall, only normal development, but this guy looks like a beast too, 88 speed, 87 tackling, 88 block shedding, and 92 hit power. So our whole linebacker core has speed. We're just going to go ahead and move Mark Barron out to the right outside linebacker position, and we have a ton of speed at that linebacker position. So now we're here, round number 2, Duncan Nelson. He is the guy we need. We need a right tackle. We looked at him, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to get our guy. But we're looking at other pieces here. Aaron Langholm, we need a left tackle as well, but just not as bad as we need a right tackle. But he is projected to go mid or third round. We do have 2 twos. So we're going to go ahead and wait on that, but we will draft Duncan Nelson right now. 38 reps on the bench press, and he comes in as a 76 overall with quick development, 91 strength, 86 run block, 74 pass block, 86 impact blocking. So it looks like his run blocking is great, what we definitely need, but he does have 49 awareness, which we do need to move up. So hopefully that quick development can allow us to move up that awareness a little bit. But now here with our second round draft pick 8 in the second round, really nobody here that we should grab without reaching a little bit. So you see me thinking, should we go ahead and draft one of these guys? But nobody is going to go here in round 2 that we have left on our draft board. So we do the logical thing, in my opinion. We are trading down once again, and we decided to trade down with the Denver Broncos again. So what we will be receiving is a third-round pick 71 overall in the draft. We get a next year's 2 and a next year's 6th-round draft pick. So we do move out that position. So now we're here with pick 66 and pick 71 in the third round. So now, hopefully we could get 2 of our guys if they're both available. So we go to make selection, and it looks like 2 of them are still here. And now we got to figure out which one we want to go with first. You see Siv Wade, it says late third rounder. Then Eric Langham says mid third rounder. So we want to play safe. So we go with Langham there at left tackle. And he's a 75 overall. Strength, a little subpar, only at 80. But he looks like a solid guy across the board. 88 impact blocking, only 57 awareness. So we move that up. I think he'll be a lot better. Now we'll pick 71. As long as Siv Wade is here, Siv Wade is going to be our guy. So we're looking to see if he is here. And when we go to our draft board, he is still on the board. So this is huge for us because this is the guy we definitely want to get here with the third round pick. And then we also have Garrett Holsey, who I'm hoping can still land and wait until round 4 or round 5. But we have to go ahead and we have to get our guy right now. So Siv Wade, he is now officially a member of the New York Giants. So we go ahead and we draft him and see where he's going to end up at overall wise. And he is a 79 overall, but he does have that slow development. That might be from staying up late and partying, but overall, he's the 13th rated in true talent. We got him with the 71st pick. Did take that chance. If he could maybe move up his development, he could be a great player. But as a baseline, his skills are amazing. I definitely like him a lot, and he might be our starting corner opposite of Janoris Jenkins to start off the season. But anyway, going on now to round number 4. Have the second pick in that 4th round. Have nobody here that we truly want, but we're going to end up on Anton Ross. I've seen him on the draft stories. He didn't impress at his pro day at all, but he looks decent here, and maybe we'll give him a shot, and he ends up being a 72 overall. So we don't need a free safety to start right away. I was just taking a shot in the dark and see if we can land somebody good, but he looks suitable just in case something does happen to Bradley McDougald. We will be fine with Anton Ross. But now we are simulating round number 5, and this is where we can hopefully get our guy, who I think is the best quarterback in this year's draft, and that is Garrett Holsey. He is still available. So we're going to obviously go ahead and select him here with this 5th round draft pick. And when we go ahead and when we do that, he is a 72 overall, but he has quick development, which is amazing here, especially in round 5, 63 overall in true talent, short accuracy, 86, speed, 82, throw on the run, 83, throw power, 92. So the guy looks really good. Now we're here for round 6. Really don't have nobody scouted here. I draft this guy with this whole intention on moving him to fullback. Don't want him at that running back position. Extremely crowded. But we get Jerome Span here, who I can move over to the fullback position because he is a big power back. And then with our final pick, just adding more depth to that linebacker position just in case somebody gets hurt or something like that. We're going to take the chance on Paul Ellsworth, see what he can contribute to the team as well. B+ hit power, B- tackling, C+ pursuit. So we're going to draft him, and he's only a 68 overall, but really can't complain here in round 7. I think we did pretty good here with this draft, and look at our players now. The guy I'm really excited to see is Jermichael Banner-Cain. He will be rocking number 52. I'm excited to see him. We have Henry Garrett at left outside linebacker. Our linebacker core is going to be a problem, especially in the future, but right now with that speed, both of them 88 speed thing is going to be great. Duncan Nelson, we needed him at that right tackle position. Eric Langham, he will be starting for us at left tackle. So both of our tackles were shored up a little bit here in this draft. So I think that's going to be great. Siv Wade, a guy doesn't have the development, but just natural talent. This guy is good. So if he could get everything together and move up the development, he could be a problem. Anton Ross, a guy who's just going to add a little bit of depth to that safety position. So he will be the backup free safety. Don't expect him to start anytime soon. But Garrett Holsey, a guy who I believe could definitely sit behind Eli Manning for a year. And he could definitely be the guy in the future with that quick development. So we'll see what happens. And then we have Paul Ellsworth at linebacker to just help us add depth as well. But that was our drafts. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some other pieces, other players that were drafted. So Brandon Jenkins, the number 1 overall pick. He was an 81 overall with superstar development. So the Browns did not miss with the first overall pick. 91 speed, 91 spectacular catch with 6'4". Height. I think that was really good. Benjamin Parsons, they kind of missed a little bit. Slow development there. You don't want that with the 4th overall pick, but talent-wise, he is pretty good. Pierce Genty, who was the top-rated cornerback, at least in my opinion in the beginning, he was a 79 overall, so not bad. Our guy was a 79 overall, but he didn't have that normal development. Connor Fowler, the right tackle, who we definitely thought about picking up. He ended up being a beast as well. 81 overall, normal development. I mean, we needed a right tackle. We didn't get him. We got a left outside linebacker instead, but I think we did okay by bringing in Duncan Nelson. Tate Gilkey, the guy who the Broncos traded up for to give it the 2nd overall pick, 80 overall, superstar development. They did not miss by trading up with me either. And then looking at some more people, another middle linebacker we did look at was Branch Bullock. Not as good as Banner-Cain, so I'm good. We ended up getting the linebacker we got. A.J. Hyde was the top quarterback taken in the draft. He ended up being a 79 overall with normal development, 82 speed, which was good. Accuracy, decent. Doesn't have as much accuracy, though, as Holsey. Looking at Ahmad Holiday, who the Cowboys ended up getting 19th pick. Look at this, 83 overall, the highest rated player in the draft, 96 speed, 84 man coverage, 85 zone coverage, and that 93 acceleration. This guy looks like a beast, and we have to play him twice a season every single year. So we did miss out on that beast cornerback. Will Odom, a guy we looked at left guard. He was an 81 overall. Very solid pick there by the San Francisco 49ers. Then we look at C.J. Kirby. The Jets end up taking him. And although he is extremely good, 80 overall, you can't complain. Banner-Cain with that superstar development, definitely the right pick for us. So I feel justified in that. And then the top pick of the Redskins was Derek Mack. 92 strength, 86 tackling, 81 overall left end. Really not bad either. We will have to play him also twice a season. But I think overall we did really good. George Hartson, he was the top rated quarterback. He had quick development. He dropped around number 2. So I think we did pretty good with our draft, and this is our actual depth chart as of now. Like I said, the next episode will probably just be the regular season, since a lot of you guys want to skip the preseason. I'll just play that on my own time. Might tweet about it here and there so you guys can see kind of what's going on. But I think we look very good. We definitely shored up the offensive line a little bit. Linebacker core is extremely improved, and that's what I'm most excited about with Garrett, with Banner-Cain, and the additions of Mark Barron. But that is pretty much everything I have here in this episode. As always, I definitely hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know in the comment section below, how do you think our offseason went? I'm extremely excited for this offseason. I think our team's going to be extremely great, but I would love to hear you guys' expectations of this New York Giants team. So let me know that in the comment section below. As always, like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please go ahead and leave this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.